Hello and welcome to another episode of MOPO, where we discuss matters of personal opinion.
It's all MOPO.
And today we're going to be doing an episode of Gotham, Season 4, Episode 12. I never write down what these episodes are called.
You know, it's funny because the only time I ever see the title is if I look at it on demand.
Okay, and the way I watch it, it's like, it's always, what's the season subtitle?
The Dark Knight or something like that.
A Dark Knight
or something like
so
that.
that's all I see, and then it's like the colon, and then like the first four letters of the episode name, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. But so
I would call this Ivy Rises.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it, or like Tinker Toys, because we'll get into that. So the episode starts off with
hold on. This freaking season should be called Villains Rise. Like the other one was.
These season titles are definitely way off.
It's like they made the whole series and then they just fucked up how they put the season titles in there.
Yeah, because like last time it was, I don't know what I would call the last season.
But it sure wasn't Villains Rise.
I didn't feel like it was Villains Rising. Maybe like a couple episodes here and there, but yeah, it was regardless. So the episode starts off with Gordon. All right, I was trying to be nice, and I put burlesque house. How did you describe it?
Strip club.
Oh, a strip club, really? Because I mean, he's having. All right, this is women for sex. I put burlesque house thinking like old school burlesque house, like where it's like, hey, I'm going to do a show and dance on stage, and I'll go upstairs with you if you want.
After the show.
But nowadays, a burlesque house, people more think of like a burlesque show, I think. I don't think a house
like
is...
Pussycat Dolls. And
like where it's like, oh, I went and saw them and they did a show and dance and that was cool.
And they wore corsets and...
Yes, same deal. They still wearing corsets.
After the show.
You know? But Gordon's looking for... He's not there on a casual call.
Rocks off.
He's there looking for Bullock, and he's like, I know this is a casual hangout. And he's talking to the head mistress, and he's like, yo, where's Bullock? Oh, we don't disclose our clients. Like, I know he comes here all the time. Just tell me, like, who did he see? And she's like, he had them two girls right over there. And I'm like, yeah, Bullock. Goes over to him, I was like, yo, where's Bullock? I think they give him a little hint as to where to go.
Don't you like show him a picture or something before they're like, oh yeah, that dude?
I mean, I don't see him as...
You should have did that before.
I don't think of him as an unforgettable guy, but I guess in Gotham they all look the same. It's always like some big husky guy with a beard just doing dirty stuff.
Gordon is like the only clean-cut dude in like the whole city. Everybody else...
Honestly. Aside from like a few other GCPD, but mainly, yeah. only guy for sure. But that's how the episode starts off. But the thing I really want to touch on, and it's not even the biggest part of the episode, but I think it warrants a highlight, because we haven't heard from her in a long time, and who I'm talking about is Ivy, who is like in a cocoon.
Well, these crackheads like just bust into, and it's funny because before the episode started, they did a little like synopsis of previously on Gotham, and they showed where she like snorted
she drank a whole bunch of vials out of this like ancient Chinese medicine guy's cabinet,
and so these like crackheads break into this place.
Yeah, they're like, yo man, this place has been abandoned,
and like there's just this nasty like green piles in there. I was like, that's her?
Yeah, it looked like a giant blister on the floor wrapped in weeds.
Yeah, it was pretty gross, man.
And she comes scooping herself out, and she's... Say it.
Sexy?
Oh, no, I was going to say the comment you made about it. Like, this is the third actress. Yeah. Yet again, we changed the actress. Is this for metamorphosis' sake? Or is this because, like, nobody's holding down this...
The chick is good looking, don't get me wrong, but I was pretty upset because I really liked that previous actress, man. Like, she was really cute.
But this girl is, or this woman, whatever, she is killing Ivy.
Yeah, well, because I think...
Because this is Poison Ivy.
We did have a little, like, mini argument over is this the Ivy before?
What was my argument? I think I lost.
Yeah.
I think I lost.
Because you were all like, oh yeah, like, this is like her final form.
I don't know. Tell us in the comments, because we ain't keeping track.
Go back and watch. Episode 13. But, this, I mean, gotta be her final form or whatever.
I think it definitely is.
She's like a Pokemon.
Because now she has the touch. Okay, it looks like she only touched this kid.
She scratched him.
But all the other people she's scratching, yeah.
No, she definitely scratched that crackhead.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Because when he's on Lucius's table. Yeah, because, Ivy is feeding off of the flesh inside the body, and it's growing from within.
She's making poison ivy grow inside of the
people. It's almost think of the zombie virus, but instead of turning into a zombie, you turn into a patch of poison ivy.
I was like, damn, poison ivy, literally.
Yeah. And it made sense because the poisonous kiss, it's kind of like the poisonous touch. I get all that.
I wonder when that will come into effect.
I mean,
because in other incarnations of this character, from the cartoon and the movie,
there's always the kiss.
Yeah, she's always using that kiss, which she would get me 100 times out of 100.
I mean, unless
this poison ivy chick, she comes up and kisses you, and you die afterwards. And I'm like, does she use tongue?
It's like death by snoo-snoo. No, but I'm sure it's gonna come because I don't know if it's. I don't think we actually get into it this episode, but she had elements of amateur chemist, when.
But she was a child.
When she was a child,
yeah,
she was messing with this stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't see it as being too far fetched, but it will. I am curious also to see how it comes into play, but. Yeah, as of right now, she's just scratching people, and it's a real life superpower.
Yeah, she's scratching people he's a zombie virus style, where she scratches you and you're just like.
Yeah, and it's pretty gnarly, and I think that's mainly that's really all we gather. I mean, Lucius examines the body and everything, but as far as Ivy's appearance, I think that's it.
Well, I mean, as far as what she does in the episode.
Oh no.
No, because she breaks into that one apartment and when she sees the people go on a trip or whatever, and she breaks into their apartment, steals the lady's clothes.
Oh no, that's.
No, that's. You're not talking about that a later episode. This is in that episode.
No, because right here, I think the last we see. And the last we see of Ivy is that's right. She goes
the commercial for the sirens.
For the sirens,
which
goes
is
there.
The Barber Gang, and I was like, "Oh, Gotham City Sirens." Let's see what they did with that, because that's a comic series, which is really Batgirl. I want to say Catwoman, but I don't think so. It's Batgirl.
It's Batgirl,
the Huntress, and I think there's another chick involved in that. I'm talking about in the comic.
Yeah.
And they call them the Gotham City Sirens. Oh, and Black Canary. Duh.
But yeah, you're right. What is it? Yeah. Selena spots her, and is like, "Yo, she seems familiar," and then she realizes that it's Ivy. Because when she sees the commercial, she's like, "Oh, I remember y'all. I hate y'all." Yeah.
Oh, she's a bad girl, huh?
It's like, uh-oh. That's not going to be good for anybody. So then Selena sneaks up on Ivy, in her house, right? And, Ivy's like, "Yo, what's up? What are you doing?" And, they have, a little bit of friendship or whatever. But then Ivy, scratches her, and then she starts "Oh, this is the new me. This is what I do now. I turn people into poison ivy. Doesn't it suck to be you right now? Oh man, you're not powerful at all. I'm the one in charge."
Yeah, I think that was a definite power play on her part to show her, look, I'm the bad bitch now, or whatever. You might have ran shit back when, I was not confident and weak, but I'm strong now.
Yeah, and it's she's still kind of friends with Selena, but more to... I feel it's more bragging rights. She has nobody else to brag to about who she is now, except to Selena.
I mean, I don't necessarily think...
Because otherwise, why not kill her?
Her?
Well, that too. Because she plays amateur chemist. What I'm saying and has an antidote for this thing. And she's like, oh, it took a couple tries to get down. So, I mean, she's still messing with all these...
Oh, she's definitely, I mean, amateur for sure, but she knows what she's doing with those chemicals.
Yeah, maybe not amateur at all. I mean, she's definitely a chemist. Self-taught, but a chemist.
For sure, she knows what she's doing.
And I think that's the last we see of Ivy.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the main story... Like, the bulk of this story is Lee is trying to unify the Narrows.
She's trying to make the Narrows a better place.
Yeah, she's like, don't you want a school for your kids? There's no hospital in this area.
She's like, do it for the kids. And
yeah, people, I mean, honestly, like, I was thinking about movies where they'd be like, oh man, I'm gonna mess you up and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna cut off all your toes and your fingers and I'm gonna make you like smoke a pack of cigarettes to the face, and they're like, oh man, if you was trying to scare me, you would have used my kids. You don't know nothing, you know. And I'm just like, and she's like, yo, your kids, and they're like, yeah, our kids.
Honestly, it reminded me of like some Independence Day shit. I was like, yeah, Lee did her best like Bill Pullman impressions, like really hyped these people up.
Oh, I was thinking like, can you dig it?
She definitely had the the Warriors vibe, no doubt.
Yeah, because like the Narrows, I don't know, but there's a like a bomb that comes.
And I've seen this dude sitting there playing with this shit in the background. I'm like, yo, he ain't up to no good.
How is he not drawing any attention? This dude is the most conspicuous person. He's sitting there with like one of those old school Sherlock Holmes hats with like a giant bottle, Coke bottle glasses, and tinkering with this toy, putting wires into it and stuff. And I'm like, nobody's seeing him. And then he just like flies this little airplane over, and it's like, wee wee, and then Grundy comes in and goes, bad plane, and smashes that into like a wall, and then like the whole side of the building blows up.
Right.
But even still, even with as big as the explosion was, like later on they're like, oh, it was like a precision explosion, like it was an assassination attempt. They're trying to kill somebody. Like that's what Gordon and Lucius decide.
Well, yeah, because Lucius is a smart dude, so he knows.
Yeah, Lucius is really smart. But yeah, as this explosion is happening,
Alfred and
they kind of show like Ivy sneak away, and also like Alfred is in a diner right across the street. But we're going to get into that.
But it just so happens at the time of that explosion,
yeah, like this is just like all these people are together. Yeah,
in the Narrows there, and
the Narrows is popping.
Alfred actually helps like save people from the building and stuff too.
Yeah, and that comes into play in his storyline. What is it?
You want to stick with Lee, or are we still talking about the Toy Man?
Well, I guess Butch does remember who he is. And he this is after he swats the bomb. Mm-hmm. He goes to Tabitha.
Yeah, he goes
and he's like,
Tabitha.
"Yo, I just want to let you know, like, I remember everything, and thank you, and I love you, but I know I'm gross, so I'm gonna find a way to get normal." And like when he says "I love you," like Tabitha don't say nothing back, and it's like she probably loves him, but like, I think after she kissed him the first time, she realized her mistake. She was like, wait a second, like,
this is gross.
I love Butch, but he gonna have to wear like a mask or something. No kissing. No kissing. But yeah, so I mean that's just kind of like a little tragic thing with that. But like with Gordon and Lucius, they like find they link the bomb to a toy maker.
Yeah. Lucius figures out it's like an antique or whatever. He's like, well, there's only one antique dealer that I know, or that deals with toys like this.
Yeah, and they're talking to the guy who's like a kid, and it's like, yo, you in charge? He's like, no. It's like, yo, where's the owner? Where's your pops? And he's like, oh, he's in the back. And then he leaves, and like right as he leaves, like Lucius and Gordon and talking, and I'm sorry, but like as this nutcracker is turning in place, I'm like, seriously, I can hear the motor.
Yeah.
Like, can y'all not hear the motor?
Maybe that was for our benefit.
It might have been for our benefit, but I mean, it was clearly turning. And then all of a sudden, like, right as they notice, he's like, hey, is that nutcracker turning? And the hand pops off, and it's just like, just like a machine gun. And as they're getting laid down with fire, all of a sudden, this, like, toy robot is just going, like, seek and destroy, seek and destroy. It's got, like, dynamite strapped to its back. And Gordon, like, shoots the arm off of the nutcracker, then grabs the bomb robot and throws that thing, and it explodes. And they're like, yo, we gotta get out back. They see the toy maker guy with his little get-up looking like... who did I say? Sherlock Holmes? He really did look like a short, pudgy Sherlock Holmes. I mean, I couldn't stop thinking about that. With that hat and glasses, he runs off and gets away.
Well, his kid freaking was, oh my gosh, my daddy, you kid.
Yeah, I had no idea he was making bombs in the back.
But now that he is, I can't let you.
But
I would have arrested that little fucking...
But they were like... Well, they did kind of put him in holding.
They didn't arrest that kid.
They didn't arrest him, but they brought him down to the station, and that's when he's like, yo, it sounded like he was talking on the phone, and he confirmed something. He said, the dock. Which, honestly, I'm stupid. Because when I saw this episode, I'm like, what's happened down at the docks? until like the next scene when I realized, oh yeah, Lee is the doc.
Lee is also a doctor.
Lee is the doctor. But yeah, so that's funny because now you got Gordon going to Barbara trying to find out who the doc is running the Narrows, and she's just enjoying it.
And he's all like, who is he?
Yeah,
what's this dude doing down there?
And she's like, I don't know, but I heard he's real dangerous and he's the kind of guy you should shoot first and ask questions later. Barbara loving it. She was just playing him. But she was like, yeah, you should go down to this area and check it out. Because she wants him to find him, because it's just a gloat.
Yeah, because
it's too funny. It's too funny. So he goes down and, like, I forget what's going on. I think she's, like, riling up. Or Edward is riling up the crowd.
No, this is where she does that speech that made me think of Independence Day.
Oh.
She riles this crowd up. Like, no one can take our freedom and shit. Like, and that's where, and my man Gordon is sitting there in the crowd when she's giving that speech, and he's all like, well, you know, somebody's like trying to kill this doctor. She's like, I'm the doctor. He's like, oh, shoot, for real?
Yeah. Well, and while they're talking, Edward sees the toy maker, kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
And then the toy maker runs out into the back alley. Edward gives chase kind of reluctantly, flees out, and then the toy maker, it's like, I'm so confused at this point. I'm like, okay, he's going after him, but then the toy maker starts getting in Edward's face like, what's going on? You brought all this heat on me. The cops came to my place. I can't go back home now. Like, what am I going to do? Like, you got me covered for all this? And I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like, slowly figuring it out. I'm like, oh, the Riddler. And then, like, hired
the toy maker to kill
Lee. Just to mess with Edward.
Wow.
And I'm like, and it's confirmed too, because, well, it's confirmed right after Gordon runs out and shoots the toy maker. Mind you,
Gordon.
He was standing right in front of Edward. I'm like, yo, if he used any higher a caliber, that was going to go through him and hit Edward. Like, he was standing right up against the back of this toy maker.
Gordon is a shoot first, ask questions later motherfucker, boy.
He
would be in a lot of trouble nowadays.
He'd be, like, fine, probably.
They even like, it was in self-defense.
I mean, he spun around real quick. And the toy maker did have a gun.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to get...
He did spin around with a gun. He was totally ready to shoot Gordon.
Yeah, he was going to fuck Gordon.
Like, I have no problem with Gordon shooting first. Right?
In this instance.
My whole thing was how close Edward was.
To getting killed, too.
Honestly, though. Honestly, like, if Gordon wasn't the best shot ever in this show, he, like...
So, yeah, he kills the toy man, and fucking Enigma's all like, oh, he said it was like,
Wait, he told him all the information except for the fact that he was like, oh, it was like some greasy white guy. It was like in the Narrows.
Not wearing a green suit.
Not wearing a green suit and a bolo hat.
And he's all like, well, I guess, open shut case there or whatever.
And then, then you see the Riddler in, like, the mirror, like the kind you would use to, like, back out of an alleyway, and he's just mocking him like, ha ha ha.
And it's funny because I was like, well, this sets up the kid to be the new toy maker.
I didn't even think of that. That makes total sense.
You know how, like, the Scarecrow...
I was real dumb on this episode.
I was not getting any of these context clues.
I'm also, I'm only basic DC knowledgeable. But I'm following along. But yeah, so... Gordon is back... Oh, well, I guess, yeah, well, this is how the episode actually ends, but we got actually to go through Alfred's...
Yeah, why don't we talk about Alfred, because the ending does kind of involve Alfred. So, while this whole, like, Ivy, like, is being introduced, and we see the toy maker, we see Alfred in the Narrows, like, kind of having a tough time. And he's in this diner, flirting with this waitress, and, like, he stands out, so the bully inside the cafe is gonna, do what bullies do, because my man is standing out.
Yeah, he's also, like, I'm kind of confused as to why, like, I guess Alfred has all the nice clothes and everything, so he looks like he's well off, but he's living in the Narrows because he really doesn't have any money.
He looked out of place, and that's why they messed with him.
But Alfred is no chump.
Yeah, he's no joke, and he fucked like all them dudes up or whatever.
Well, no, he did for a second, and then he was about to get his ass handed to him. And then Gordon rolled in.
Yeah, Gordon rolled over,
and then he was like, "Yo, like, what's going on? Like, why are you out here? Like, oh, you're thrown out? Like, that's crazy. Blah 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 blah." And then that's when the explosion happens, right? And then Alfred with Gordon roll into the building. They save all these people, and they're kind of standing there. And like later on, Alfred's back in the diner, and he's just kind of like having like a drink. Like everybody's kind of there. It's like, oh, the calm down after the storm, and they're pouring the waitress is pouring him a shot, and the bullies come back up, and they're like. Just like, yo, seriously, it's like, yo.
Like, word.
That was awesome. Yeah. Respect, like, handshake, and then they all share a drink, and, it's good stuff. But then Alfred notices the waitress, she's got a busted eye, which I didn't notice the first time.
Yeah.
And he didn't notice the first time, and it's like, you think that's when you would have noticed it.
Well, now he's trying to rail her or whatever, so now he's going to notice. Before, he didn't care about her, but, they connected or whatever, and he winds up either, like, walking her home.
Yeah, he like, walks her to, like, a corner where then all of a sudden her boyfriend pulls up. Like, I'm fuzzy on how that exactly took place, too, but, like, I know they're walking down the street and then the boyfriend pulls up.
He gets out the car, and it's almost like Alfred knows him.
Well, no, it's not even that he knows him. It's like Alfred just immediately jumps on this dude, like
white on rice,
like boom. I know for a fact that you're beating your girl. I know for a fact that you And Alfred's out for justice, and he kicks the crap out of this kid.
Yeah, he beats the shit out of this dude.
She pulls Alfred off of him. It's like, no, like, he's my boyfriend. No, no, no. And, like, while she's doing this, like, the boyfriend sees a ring on the ground and picks it up, and it's Alfred's ring.
Yeah, well, somehow Alfred's ring fell off his hand when he, like, beat the dude up.
I don't know, maybe there was, like, a grapple move or something where there was, like, a squeeze and pull.
It was pretty weird how, like...
I was wondering how a ring came off,
all of a sudden on the ground. But
he scoops this up, and then he's like, he grabs his girlfriend, the girl, and he's like, I'm gonna teach you to talk to strangers. I mean, that's not what he said at all, but I mean, that's along the same lines. It's like, this is what, I'm gonna teach you to let other dudes walk you home, or whatever abusive boyfriends say to control women. And
next time we see this chick, she's a corpse.
Well, we don't know that.
Yeah, beats up her boyfriend, and next time we see that chick, she is dead. And they're all like, he did it because he found this ring or whatever, but Alfred runs away before they can actually take it, because while Gordon my note was all messed up, dude. I literally, for this whole segment, if this is the same episode, this whole segment, I just put justice. That's all I wrote. That's all I wrote. It is justice by the end, but what happens is they find this chick murdered, and they call Gordon up, and he's like, oh, this chick is murdered. He goes there, and they're like, oh, we have the suspect. She says murdered, and freaking, of course, Alfred is the suspect, because they've seen the mark of his ring on her forehead.
Dude, he must have blasted her in the forehead so hard. This thing was like a half an inch deep into her
literally
dome.
Beat to death. She did not look like a nice corpse at all. She was literally beat to death, which is fucking horrible. And Gordon goes there, and he's all like, what'd you do? He's like, I didn't do it. And he told him about, the boyfriend and all. Yeah. And he's like, all right, I'm your boy, I got you. You gotta give us a statement, though, or whatever. And he turns his head for a second, and my man
he
bounces out.
He is not about to have anything to do with that.
So what happens is, he winds up going to the bar.
Well, I don't even know how he finds him. He just walks into a bar.
Well, I mean, you gotta assume, he got the army training or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point you can say it is Alfred, but he finds this guy in a bar and just yo, what's up, man? And the guy's trying to play it cool, oh, hey, what's going on? I'm gonna call the cops, blah, 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 thinking it's a big joke. And Alfred just got a bottle in his hand. He just goes, smash!
Right. And what winds up happening is Bullock is the damn
bartender
there. And, he totally helps out
well, mind
Alfred.
You, when Alfred does this, 3 other dudes jump in.
Right.
And Alfred's about to get his ass handed to him. The boyfriend has a knife to Alfred's throat.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I'm gonna call this self-defense.
But Bullock totally saves his ass, and even is like, yo, this dude ain't got no more alibi now or whatever, because these dudes ain't gonna say nothing, right? They're like, we don't know nothing.
Yeah, what alibi?
So, Bullock gets Alfred's name cleared.
Yeah.
By the end of the episode.
By the end of the episode, Alfred's totally clear.
But then Bullock disses the shit out of Gordon, because Gordon's all like, yo, man, we should talk. You should come back. Your badge. Take your badge back.
Yeah, because Gordon's in the bar, and he, puts the badge on the table. He's like, yeah, man, we could really use you, yada, yada.
I'll never work for you, and, blah, 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 blah. You were dirty, and I've been dirty my whole career, but because you're dirty, I'm mad.
Yeah, because it's kind of yo, we're the same. There's no difference between us. You're dirty, I'm dirty. Why do you get to be it? You know?
Yeah.
Just because I fucked up, you fucked up.
And that's kind of how the episode ends, on Bullock being a
Bullock just kind of throws it in Gordon's face. He doesn't take the badge. And that's the end of the episode.
I tell you, it's a surprise to me to see Poison Ivy come back.
But
I should have known better.
I knew she was coming back. I was surprised it was this episode. It took me off guard because it feels like it's been so long since I've seen her that to now see her, I'm like, oh yeah,
that's right.
That's what's up.
That's what happened to her.
Kind of like they threw in Jerome a little bit, like at the end of Penguin getting locked up, and you're just like, oh yeah, that guy's still alive.
That's right.
I forgot about that dude.
But
which we still don't really know what's going on with that.
We'll see what happens with that.
It's just like at least this we found out right away.
But what do you think about
Ivy's new superpower?
The new Poison Ivy version 3. They're like ultimate
the Ivy chemist with the scratch power.
What do you think about the season so far? Where do you think it's going to go? What do you want to see? Let us know. Because it's all a matter of personal opinion.
It's all MOPO.
Thanks for listening.